Hello there, estate planning mom here, Crista Hermance. Today we are going live with your estate planning questions and answers, and I'm so excited um, to look back to some of the questions that we've gotten over the past few days to be able to answer those questions for you. Um, and really just be able to help give you an idea of how to put legal plans in place to make sure that your family is protected. So, as we wait for a few people to join us here, if you have any estate planning questions, please make sure to put those in the chat. Again, I'm going to start with some of the comments and questions that have come in over the past few days. But if you're joining me and you have a question, please feel free to put that in the chat and we will get started. Okay. So if you do not know me, again, my name is Crista Hermance. I'm an estate planning attorney. We are licensed to practice in California and help families put legal plans in place to make sure that their assets are protected. Um, I have been going live to really get to what your questions are about estate planning. I know estate planning is very confusing, right? I don't know what's the difference between a living will and a will. Um, why do I need a will? Why do I need a trust? Do I need both? What happens when somebody passes away? These are all really important documents that, a lot of times people just really don't understand what is needed when it comes to estate planning. And that's really what I'm hoping to help accomplish to you to be able to get some of those answers. Okay, so first question that we have coming in. I am almost 60 years old, no kids, own a condo. Do I need a living trust? So, for this question, um, I'm going to preface by saying again, our practice is located in California. And so everything I'm going to be talking about is specific to California. However, if you are in another part of the country, you should always work with an attorney in your state that is licensed in your state to be able to assist because every state's going to be a little bit different how they do planning, whether it's a trust based plan, a will based plan. It really depends on what the laws are in your state. And so for this one, again, 60 years old or almost 60, no kids, own a condo, and do I need a living trust? So the basic rule or guideline, I should say, that we follow is that if you own property, you should have a trust. And what a living trust is going to do is a living trust allows you to say, if something were to happen to me and I were either to get sick or to pass away, here's how I would want my assets distributed. In this case, if there is a condo, and I don't know if they're single, so let's assume single, then the then if they were to pass away in this case, who's going to receive the condo, right? So by having a trust, rather than it having to go through probate court, which if there's no will in place or no trust, the condo asset would have to go through probate court to then likely be distributed according to intestate law. So whoever your closest relatives are, whether it's a sibling, maybe nieces and nephews, and if you want it to go to someone specifically, you need to have that in writing. Otherwise, it's going to go just according to what your family tree is, that intestate succession that I mentioned. Um, and so this is where having a living trust would absolutely allow you to be able to do that and to avoid probate court, because again, probate court is very expensive. The other thing that I will mention with these facts is that, with no kids and having a condo, and let's assume not married, because it doesn't say in the facts if there's marriage here, is what happens if you get sick, right? Who is going to be your agent? Who's going to be there to take care of you, to pay bills, medical expenses, your mortgage on the condo? And so this is something really important to think about, because that's where having estate planning documents, a comprehensive estate plan like a living trust, would then allow you to say, I want to be able to make sure that if I can't make decisions because I'm sick, that I have this person that can come in, my executor, my successor, and be able to manage the assets in my estate to help take care of me while I'm sick. right? So, very important aspect of estate planning, right? Because for a majority of the population, people don't just die, they are sick before they actually pass away. And so, having an estate plan in place with the proper documents is going to allow that. Okay. Okay, great question. Let's see if you are just joining me and you have any questions regarding estate planning. So, wills, trust, probate, trust administration. You're a beneficiary, and maybe you're not being treated fairly or what you think is fairly according to what you think should be happening. Please put your comments or questions in the chat, and I'm happy to go through those. Um, and I'm going to go to the next question here. Let's see. Okay. Can I just list my minor children as beneficiaries on my accounts and life insurance? So, this is one of the things that I think is so important from an education perspective for families with young kids. So, and when I say young kids, minor children, right? Because minor children under the age of 18, at least in the state of California, can't inherit money or property. And so, if they were to receive some type of inheritance, whether it's from grandparents or from a parent, they can't actually take it in their name. And so, it would have to go through the court, whether through a guardianship or a probate proceeding, to be able to inherit that money into a court blocked account where they would get access when they turn 18 years old. And so the issue with this is if you have children that are under the age of 18, by listing your minor children as beneficiaries on your life insurance or your retirement account, your bank accounts, they can't actually get that money. And so if something happened to you, they're now having to go through court to be able to get access to that money. Right. And I think for a lot of families that is not the intention of why they're listing their kids as beneficiaries. They want that money to be able to be there to take care of them. And so I'm not saying go out and list your sibling as the beneficiary because they're going to take care of your kids, or list, somebody else that you trust. Because that is not my recommendation. My recommendation in these cases would be to have a trust. And a trust would allow you to say, okay, I have minor children. I don't want them to receive this money when they're 18 or even younger. I want it to be there to be able to take care of them and to be protected. And maybe they get it at, 25, 30, 35. And so really being able to stretch out how they're going to receive that money. And then in a trust, you can say, well, if I have this life insurance policy, rather than list my minor kids, I'm going to put the trust as the beneficiary on this life insurance policy. And then that way, if something happened to me, that life insurance policy would go into the trust to benefit the kids according to what I want. Okay. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. And if you want to protect your kids, right? So important. Please put in the comments or send me a message that with the word protect. And we will send you a link to be able to get a free consultation on estate planning, right? To be able to put those plans in place. Because a lot of time it's people just don't know, right? And it's the unknown that's scary. But I find that for a lot of families that we've worked with over the years, just the act of being able to do the planning is just such a sense of relief, right? They're able to get to get that peace of mind, knowing that they're getting their plan put in place. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're watching this in the replay, please put your questions in the chat and I will try to get to those tomorrow when I am back live, and I will see you then. Thank you.